welcome back to my channel. The mood reading gods have blessed me because I was struck by the mood to read all of the Sapphic romances on my TBR. I mean, obviously not all of them because that would be like a 5-hour video. In this video, I read 3 Sapphic romances, one that I picked up on Kindle Unlimited because I love the cover of it, one that is my most anticipated book of the year, and one that is very taboo and I was very intrigued by. So in this reading vlog, I am going to be reading Stars Collide, I'm going to be reading The Fiancee Farce, and I am going to be reading Mistakes Were Made. Now, if you don't want any spoilers to the video, feel free to jump right in to the vlog, and all of my reactions, timestamps are linked down below, just to give you a fair warning for those of you who do want to know. One of these books is a 5-star, one of these books was disappointing, and one of these books I felt was a complete waste of my time. Not because it's a bad book, I think that every book has its audience. For me, it just didn't work, and you'll see exactly why it didn't work. But without further ado, thank you so much for watching this video ahead of time. Please subscribe if you are not already, and let's get into reading. Good morning. I mean, technically it's 11 a.m. but I've been working on the video that went up a long time ago for you. I want to give you an update on Stars Collide, my first Sapphic read for this. It would be me if I didn't go on a tangent. I was reading this for Escape the Readathon. The prompt I was fulfilling was reading a book with the same cover as like one of the hosts' thumbnail. So I chose one of Riley's thumbnail, and this book matches because of the vague color scheme and the stars, but we've already unlocked the door, so we can just go back to mood reading, so this will still count for that. Update on Stars Collide. I'm really liking it so far. I'm only like 30 pages in, but it's 300 pages, I think, in total. Is a really enjoyable time. Maybe I told you in the intro, I don't know. Intro means filming in the future. That intro doesn't exist yet. So this book, we're following Eden and Anna. It's about 2 like musicians, and Eden is in her 30s. She's had a very long career, a big reputation, and she had released an album that kind of flopped. She's performing at the Grammys, and her agent is like, hey, there's this up-and-coming artist named Anna, and I think that if you invited her to sing a song with you at the Grammys, it could really help you out. So she agrees, and she and Anna meet up. Anna is a huge fan of Eden, like her idol. It's a Sapphic romance, so you know what's gonna happen. I am loving it because I've discovered this year that I do actually really enjoy stories set in Hollywood about like actors and musicians. Just fun times all around for me. So I am loving this book so far. It does remind me of a certain someone who is on tour right now, a record-breaking tour, shall we say. She also reminds me of Evelyn Hugo, so who knows? But I want to make sure I gave you that update. And yeah, that's my update. I'll see you with my next update. Yes, I am wearing my Christmas pajamas in May, but I want to let you know, number one, I just woke up like 2 hours ago. I've been reading all morning, and I finished Stars Collide by Rachel Lacey. I really love this book. It is so freaking cute. It was well written. I love the fluff and romance of it, and I just don't have a way to talk to you about this book because I just finished it. Just wanted to give you that update that it was a 4.5-star read for me. Earlier on, I think I mentioned that I was loosely getting vibes of a celebrity who's currently on tour right now. I want to emphasize that I don't think Eden is the celebrity, but her music career reminds me of it. And even though Rachel Lacey says in her author's note at the end that this is not inspired by anyone, girl, the album that she was touring was called After Midnights. She debuted when she was 16 years old. Anyway, I don't think Eden is this person, okay? I think Eden very much stands as her own character, and I love Eden's discovery and exploration of her sexuality. Yes, there is steam in this. This is like just a really good sapphic romance about pop stars. There was a third act conflict, which I like understood and appreciated that it wasn't like the worst version of miscommunication, but I do think that Anna's reaction was, I don't want to say she's overreacted because she's entitled to respond however it is that she wants to respond, especially in the situation. But it was just kind of like, girl, why would you do that? Anyway, still mostly fluff. I had a great time with it. It's a beautiful day. It won't be a beautiful day for much longer. So I'm going to eat my breakfast. I'm going to join the Citadel Sprints, and then I'm going to go to Target, because what else do you do on a Saturday but walk around Target for no reason and buy nothing? Morning, I'm going to Barnes & Noble for no reason that I want to. And I wanted to update you that I tried to read this book, which I keep hearing the name of, Best Friend's Mom, okay? I was listening to the audiobook. These headphones aren't even working. They're disconnecting, and I'm waiting for my new ones. Best Friend's Mom, couldn't listen to the audiobook. It wasn't for me, the audiobook, in the sense that it's fine. It's very well produced, but I couldn't get into the story listening to it. That could just me being a mood reader, because for me, mood reading also encompasses format, and I'm just not in an audiobook mood. So I'm gonna try to see if Scribd has this book as the ebook. If not, then I'm gonna need to find it on Kindle, or hopefully at my library, Pigeons and Runners. So that's my goal, that's my update. Okay, I'm done at Barnes & Noble, and I'm sorry. Barnes & Noble is in the middle of a redesign. So fucking ugly and confusing. I cannot. The books are just shoved against the wall. But also, they replaced the shelves to these shelves that are like way above eye level. So you can't see where any other section is. And it's literally like a maze. Like, you just have to walk around and figure out where you are by what books are around you. It's absolutely fucking chaotic. But I've somehow managed to stumble onto a street fair. Street fairs often only take cash, so like I'm gonna go to Starbucks. I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna read my book. Not the book that I'm reading for this video, because I'm still finding that balance of like reading outside of videos. So this is a book that I'm reading outside of videos for my own pleasure. So I'll see you at home. I don't think I ever even updated you after I got home yesterday, but hello, it's the next day. This lighting is shit, but like, oh well. I wanted to let you know that I am putting down the audiobook for something to talk about. I'm gonna choose the lighting because this haze, not a vibe. So the reason why I decided to put down the audiobook, I was trying to pinpoint it because I listened to more of it yesterday. And the thing is, I didn't even know that there were two different narrators for this book. They both sound almost exactly the same, and when we would switch points of view between Eden and Cassie, I was like, who's speaking? Whose point of view is this? And it was very hard for me to distinguish. In addition, Cassie is a senior in college, but for the first like 3 chapters, she's literally on several weeks like bender. Like she's just drunk the entire time, and the only moments that we get are her like being blackout drunk, and where she's blackout drunk and she texts Eden like, you have nice tits, even though Eden doesn't have her number. It's a 17-year age gap, so I'm like, my girl's gonna have to feel a little bit more mature than this, because at this point you're dating a child. I'm gonna switch to the ebook. I requested it from my library. It said like 31 hours. So while I wait for it, I'm gonna switch over to the Fiancee Farce by Alexandria Bellflower, which you have all know I've been anticipating since the start of the year, so I'm very excited to get to it. Not to worry, you will see the clips for the Fiancee Farce after I've already finished something to talk about, just so we can have a little bit more cohesiveness in this vlog instead of me just chaotically picking books and putting them back down. I did end up getting the ebook from my library for Mistakes Were Made, the book where she's fucking her best friend's mom. I'm still not enjoying it. And I hate to say that, I'm almost tempted to DNF it, but I won't. There's enough entertainment factor in there for me, but I don't find either of our main characters, Casey or Aaron, particularly likable at this moment. These characters really do feel somewhat two-dimensional. There is an attempt to give them more depth, and I'm still only on chapter 6 of the book, so we haven't really gotten to the plot points either, but I have read some reviews. I know that this book is mainly porn, so we'll see what goes on with there. Not my favorite thing, which is disappointing, but right now that is how I am feeling, so that's that. Hello, my darlings. Oh my gosh. I pulled my shirt over my head and that's what it did to my hair. But anyway, I'm here with the update for Mistakes Were Made. I'm about 30 or 40% of the way through the book. It's hard to know because I have the library ebook and it's not marked by pages, it's marked by place. So instead of saying like page 100 and something, it says location 225 of 800. I don't fucking know what that means. But I hate DNFing books for videos, but at the same time, reading has to be fun for me. And I don't like forcing myself to read something that I'm not enjoying. I was just like, okay with this book, I would continue, but I don't like it. That's the update. I don't like this book. Every time I think about opening it and reading about the characters, I'm just like, I don't fucking care. I literally do not care because I find these characters to be two-dimensional, flat, and quite frankly, irritating. Immature. If I'm being completely honest about it. There is definitely attempts at character development and moving the story along, but ultimately I don't feel like these two characters have enough chemistry beyond sexual chemistry for me to care anything about the relationship, and I don't like them enough to want to read their story. And that really fucking sucks because I was so excited to read this book because I really loved something to talk about, but this book specifically is just not working for me. I don't see why these two characters would want to be together. I don't think they have enough in common. They've barely had any conversations, and honestly, it's just about them wanting to fuck. That has its time and place. You all know I love a spicy romance. In this case, it's just not working for me, and I want to acknowledge that this could in part be with me being a mood reader, and maybe I'm just not in the right mood to read it. I am calling this a soft DNF because maybe I'll come back to this book at some point later in the year and have a completely different opinion about it, but for now it is simply not working for me. Hello, I'm just past the 120 page mark in the Fiancee Farce. I don't really have an update. Totally, it stayed pretty much the same, but we are getting a lot more of the characters' backstories and motivations. I don't know what people say, but I wanted to at least show you a clip of me outside of my house. I'm about to meet a friend for an early evening picnic and still desperately trying to get Taylor Swift tickets. Also started practicing my hair for the concert tickets I don't have. I want to do Reputation, so like slicking my hair back. Part of my hair, as you all know, never cooperates with me, but that's the update. I'll see you probably when I finish the book, because I don't think I'll have very strong opinions until the end. I just need you to know, over the sound of the train, that I was walking to the coffee shop. I really liked my outfit, and then a bird fucking shat on me. I'm gonna let that go, bird. I'm gonna fucking let that go. Hello, it is many hours later. I am home now. I was editing all day. It's like 3 p.m. and I'm finally gonna give you my reading update. I finished The Fiancee Farce by Alexandria Bellefleur, and I'm here to tell you that this was just okay for me. I gave this 3.5 stars because while I enjoyed being with Gemma and Tansy, did I even tell you what this book is about? Knowing me, probably not. In this book, we are following Tansy and Gemma. Tansy is lying to her family because they won't leave her alone about going to like her cousin's wedding stuff, and she doesn't want to do that because she used to be in a relationship with the groom, and the groom really is a dickhead, but nobody knows that happened aside from her stepsister and her shitty cousin. They know that happened. So she lies to her family and says that she is dating a woman called Gemma. Gemma is a model for romance novels, and Tansy owns a bookstore, so she panics and she's like, I'm in a relationship. Her name is Gemma. Lo and behold, Gemma is related to the bride and groom of the wedding. So Gemma hears the news that she's supposedly dating this woman named Tansy, and Gemma has actually just inherited her grandfather's like journalism newspaper empire. She's inherited that. She really wants it because she believes in what her grandfather does and she thinks she'd be the best fit. But in order for her to fully claim her inheritance and become the president of this empire, she needs to get married. So, marriage of convenience between Gemma and Tansy. While I did enjoy this, I thought the humor was strong and I loved just being with Gemma and Tansy and learning more about the relationship. I ultimately had issues with pacing in this book, and then I felt that the pacing was very, very odd. Super slow to start with, and then there's like chunks of just like pages and pages and pages of text messages, which just honestly felt like filler and to show a passing of time. I don't feel like we got enough time with Gemma and Tansy to love them. We did get time with them, but the pacing and the timeline was just very stop and start. In addition, I felt like the characters in this book ultimately were pretty flat and two-dimensional. Yes, there was attempts to add more depth to them and make them feel more real. I don't want to say not enough of an attempt, but I'm just gonna say it wasn't successful in those attempts because they ultimately don't feel like real people. They feel real, but they feel like characters in a book. My personal favorite character in this book though was Teddy, and I would love to see a book with Teddy in the future. And I also liked Brooks as well. I thought he was a really fun character. That's really all I have to say about this book. It is 3.5 stars. Disappointing because I had such high expectations for it, but still enjoyable and something that I would recommend if you want like a fun, lighthearted, somewhat chaotic romance. Those were the books that I want to read. I have so many more Sapphic books that I want to read. I have like a whole list, so there will definitely be a part 2 and a part 3 of this. Well, I'll read some other Sapphic books on my TBR. But for now, I want to wrap this video in a neat little bow, and it is coming out earlier than I expected it to because I've moved some videos around and got back on my schedule of uploading twice a week. So thank you so much for watching this video. As always, I really appreciate you being here. Let me know if you've read any of these books, or if you did read Mistakes Were Made, what you thought of it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!